Namaste and welcome to class, and thank you so much for dancing with me this time with your unconditional attention. And today's class is about the identity at the level of the soul. And I have a surprise. I have two strings, one white and one black. And this is an important thing because we have talked about polarities and how these two currents, the positive and the negative, when they are in action close by and when they are in balance, they create movement. And without the movement, the soul cannot really move into experiences, into the earth body, or into anything that it wants to take form. So the first thing, when we're talking about the identity of the soul, is to consider how is your two currents. If you are preferring one, then the other one is fluffy and it won't produce the contact, the conflict, the inspiration for you to move and continue your journey. But let's imagine that just to enter into the soul, or just to enter into the dynamics of the soul, the first lesson for many of you is to balance these two forces, the Ida and Pingala, the sun and the moon, the feminine and the masculine. Now you know that this is in your nadi system and is in relation to your nervous system. That's how you're going to receive the information on the earth bodies to act, to display your inspirations. So, okay, in the soul, it's like a forest. You don't see totally. It's a middle shade. So sometimes you know, oh yes, my purpose is this, or I feel like I'm born for this. And other times you don't see, you don't know. So depending of what you are deciding to learn, you will have a pattern to walk, and the soul will lead the way as a sense of guidance to certain patterns. So let's imagine you are in balance on this and that you are ready to walk. So you have certain pattern. I will illustrate so you know how it may relate to this. So let's say you want to learn about service. You want to learn about serving others. So you decide to have all the information in this nadi system about nursing or doctors or counseling or something like that. And then you start your career and purification and understanding at that level. But that choice have a pattern of energy that you need to follow and that you cannot avoid. So you go with your two currents, and let's say that this is one pattern, and the first thing you need to learn is about boundaries. If you take care of others, first you need to take care of yourself, or learn about pain, or create certain compassion, and that will be your first lesson. If you are preferring or making I should be doing this, or I should be doing that, or how this lesson is figured out, I am wrong, this is not, I am not doing it right, you immediately start entangling yourself into that first lesson. this will obstruct the flow. It will be something that sooner or later you have to come back and undo and untie that. Then, naturally, the cycles of life will lead you to the second stage of that lesson. Let's say sympathy. Then, in the sympathy tree, in the sympathy pattern, you need to have all the molding and all the rounds, all the facets for you to have a complete and different points of view of what is the sympathy, right? So isn't that if you overextend it, if you're not balanced, these strings start to be, this energy, this electricity start to be unstable, and you are not able to complete your pattern, right? So, but let's say you succeed in this, you have the sense of guidance, and you move to another lesson. You need to walk, you need to detach, you need to follow your impulse, and your energy will lead you naturally to another state, another lesson, another level of understanding about service. So you get, let's say, service by being you more and by vibrating more all your experiences. In that sense, then you pick up another point of view, another experience, another partners, another pattern. So now you know where I'm going. You have a mandala. You have in the soul bodies, you have the identity of certain trajectory, or certain memories, and certain impulse that come from your heart to try to complete this, depending on what you sign up. You see the importance now of how these strings in your nervous system are so important. Any attachment you have in that, you just enroll yourself on it and tie yourself on it through judgment, through guilt, and through anything that is unlovable and not understanding. As you tie this up, this becomes a pattern for others to be. Now, when you identified with that, you say, oh yes, I have known the path of the server. I know how to serve and so on. If you identify with that and say, I am that, your Manipura chakra and your second I am start to be tense. This is so important because you cannot relax if you're not accepting the sequence of events in your life as they are, as they have been. They are all patterns that are meant for you to have a different point of view. The other thing about the identity in the soul is that it's subconscious. So all these different patterns that you have move through different times, and even you can move to different time zones. Let's say if this tree in a higher is a different time zone, you can have a timeline where you're experiencing simultaneously through the same current the information that you need in order to complete the beautiful mandala and cycles of the soul. The attachment in the soul bodies is represented by personality. Is what you think that if you are introverted or extroverted is related to the gunas. It's related to, you can be aggressive or you can be dull, depends how you choose to walk this. You can choose it like, oh, okay, it's so hard, I have to, this is it, and so on. That's very tamasic. Or you can be very enthusiastic and have a leadership on it. Or you can be very enchanted and discovering and curious and so on, more sattvic nature. So that qualities, you experience it as personality. And those qualities, when you identified, they impede the realization, the full flourishment of the I am. So, and here the danger and the passage is to realize that you are not the person, the pattern, the mandala. You are just the holder of this energy. And that energy have the whole entire information of the universe. You are meant to play with it. You are meant to explore with it and create the incredible diversities through creation, and that is the celebration of the one. Hopefully this is helpful to understand the identity in the soul bodies and how to detach from them. But hold on, I have another lesson for you on identity at the level of the spirit. Thank you so much for sitting with me, and I will see you in our next class. Namaste.